The class I've put together for you today is a strengthening class. A lot of you asked for something that was specifically strengthening for the body. It's a gentle class, so if you're a beginner, it is appropriate for your body, and I will give you modifications to practice if you find the postures not so easy. We're also going to go through a couple of gentle back bends. These poses are really good for adhesions because a lot of you asked about adhesions and working with adhesions. So I hope you enjoy the class. Namaste. First of all, what you're going to do is I want you to come down to your mat. And we're going to begin practicing today with a pose called Jatari Parivriti, or full body twist. And the way that we practice this twist is to lie down with the legs extended and take our arms out to either side of the body with the palms facing down. Then we're going to gently bend up our knees. And just before you start, I want you to gently just rock from side to side. This is really useful if you have a lot of pain in your lower back. It's just releasing and giving a gentle massage into the lower back and into the kidneys. And then what I want you to do is have a pillow or a blanket or something, so that what we can do is actually inhale and exhale, lower those knees down to one side and have them rest on a pillow. Now you might find that that's a little bit too much for your body. So what you can do is just keep your right leg extended all the way along to the floor, and then gently twist over with your left. It's completely up to you, but I want you to be fully comfortable. So find the position that works for you best. If you need a pillow there, use it. If you don't, simply just drop your knees to one side. And then you're going to turn your head to look at the opposite palm. So you're twisting through the base of your body and you're twisting through the top of your body too. And we're going to stay here and take a few deep breaths. Now if this position isn't comfortable for your neck, please look straight up at the ceiling. And then inhale and come back to center. And exhale, release to the other side. And again, use your pillow if you need to. Straighten out that leg if it's more comfortable. And just rest here. Try and keep your breath flowing through to your belly. Good, one more breath. Inhale, come back to center and gently hug your knees into your belly, just releasing off the lower back. So twisting is actually really good for adhesions as well. Helps to just break up the adhesions and get the blood flow going down to the belly. However, if you have a lot of digestive symptoms, I want you to take it really easy with twists, okay? Don't come into anything that is too dynamic because you can actually aggravate your digestion. When you're ready, slide your hands down to your ankles. Feet hip distance apart on the mat, and we're going to practice Setu Bandhasana or bridge pose. What I want you to do is just bring your arms nice and long beside your body. And then inhale and tilt your pelvis back towards your tummy, just slightly lifting your buttocks off the ground. And when you're ready, roll all the way up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, breathing out, I want you to gently just bring your body all the way back down to the mat. Now it's not important to get your body all the way off the mat. If you can only come up a little bit, just lift up the hips, that's fine. Work with that. Work with where you're at and don't judge yourself for that. Inhale and raise the arms up towards the ceiling. And then exhale and lower back down. And again, inhale, work with your breath. Exhale, lower back down. 2 more rounds. Inhaling. Exhaling. So you're really flowing through the body, and this is what it means to practice a flowing yoga practice. Inhale. Now, if you wish to, you can just come back down. If you're a bit more advanced, you can come up to your shoulders here. Bend your elbows and actively support your hips, or you can interlace your fingers. Take your hips towards the ceiling, bring your knees towards each other and hold it here for another 4 deep breaths. It's completely up to you. Please work with where you're at. If you're down on the mat, please hug your knees into your belly. And this is a very gentle back bend, which is really good for stretching out the front of the body, particularly the pelvic area. So it's particularly good for adhesions as well. On your next inhalation, gently release that breath and come all the way down to your mat. And then hug your knees into your belly, release off your lower back, and you can gently rock from side to side. Inhale from here. I want you to turn onto your right hand side. Take a deep breath here. So come into a seated position now. And by seated I mean an easy cross-legged, either tucking the feet underneath the knees or just gently coming into pose of a sage Siddhasana. And if that doesn't work for you, if that's not okay for your body, I want you to just stick your legs out in front of you, wherever you're comfortable, however you can sit. And we're going to do a little practice called Circle of Joy to really open up and release the shoulders and start to strengthen and release out the sides of the body. So what I want you to do is to just really ground yourself down through your sit bones, those bones at the bottoms of your buttock. And then with the crown of your head, the top of your head, draw up towards the ceiling. Drop the chin down so your spine is nice and long. And then inhale here, take a deep breath in, into the heart, interlace your fingers, bring them to your heart, and then exhale, curl through your lower back. So round your lower back, drop your head, push away with your hands. So I'm going to show you what that looks like to the side. And just feel into your upper body. Take a couple of deep breaths here. And then inhale, raise the arms alongside the ears if you can, all the way up to the ceiling, turning the palms up to the ceiling. Hold it here, reach up, stretch through your body, and exhale, bring the hands behind your head, like so. Now, if you can do this without touching the back of your head, do, but don't let your head come forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades, take your elbows back to the wall behind you, and then inhale, reach up, and exhale, slide one hand out from your hip, turn the other arm down, take it, palm facing down towards the ground, turn your head, look at the ceiling, and breathe into the side of your body. Feel that stretch. Keep both buttocks firmly grounded. And this works into your liver and your gallbladder, so it's very good for endometriosis. Inhale, sweep around that hand, bring your spine up nice and straight. Take that arm behind you and look towards your thumb. Couple of deep breaths here, and then inhale, come back. Come down onto the elbow, if that's available to you. And then inhale, come up. Reach up towards the ceiling and exhale, practice to the other side. Turning your arm down, turning the head to look at the ceiling. Really focus on your breath and inhale, sweep that arm around in front of you. Take it back behind you. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Keep the energy going through to the fingertips. Turn your head to look at your thumb. And then inhale, sweep it around. Come back. You're going to find that one side is a little easier than the other. One side's a bit more challenging. Just make a note of which side is easiest for you. Reach up. Release your hands behind your head. Inhale here. Now there should be a little bit more ease there, a little bit more movement. Inhale here and exhale, twist to your right. And then inhale, come back to center. Inhale. Exhale and twist to your left. And inhale, come back to center. Take your hands behind your back now. I'm going to show you this from the side as well. What we're going to do is we're just going to gently inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades and take the hands away from the back. Now if that's enough for you, stay there. But if you'd like to take it a little deeper, inhale and exhale. Drop your head down towards the mat and raise your arms nice and long. And then inhale, come all the way back up. You should be able to feel that release in the shoulders. Bring your fingertips to your shoulders, making small circles with the elbows. Then reverse those circles. It feels really good. It's a great release for the shoulders. Really fantastic. Lovely. And then just shake it out. Release your wrists. So yoga is about getting the energy moving through your body, releasing any blockages in the body. Okay, and we're going to come up to standing. So coming up to standing, and I want you to find Tadasana, or mountain pose. This is the most important standing pose for yoga. It's a really grounding pose, and it's important for women for endometriosis because we often hold a lot of stress in our bodies and we have quite a bit of anxiety about the pain that we go through. What this pose is about dropping your weight through your feet. So I want you to really focus on your feet on the mat, feeling the weight in your feet. And don't worry if you can't feel any weight. This is something you need to practice. So the more times you do it, the better you'll become. Once you can feel your weight in your feet, it means that the focus has been taken from the top of your body to the bottom of your body. And when you are focused on the bottom of your body and you can feel your weight, it's very, very hard to get stressed, I promise you. Okay, so drop your weight through your feet, let it go, and then pick up your toes and just stretch them. So pick the toes up, stretch them, plant them down into the mat. And then take your weight forward, pick your heels up just slightly, and drop your heels down. And I want you to see where your weight sits today. So take your body forwards and backwards, and just see where your point of balance is. And once you have found that, it'll feel like you could stand here for a long time. Draw your awareness up into your knees, and if you lock your knees backwards, I want you to just release them, just softly. That'll bring your pelvis into the correct alignment. Often we create pain in the body because of the way we hold our body, so this is about learning to hold it properly. Draw your knees towards one another first of all. That'll create a contraction in the inner thigh. Don't worry if you can't feel that on the first go. And that'll also hold your pelvic floor. And then you need to slightly tuck your pelvis under. Draw up through your core and the sides of your body and roll your shoulders back and down. So the arms are strong, but they're soft. Sira but stuka. Dropping the chin so that your neck is long, and I'll show you from the side what that Tadasana for me looks like. Everybody's Tadasana is slightly different. But my breath is not obstructed. I can breathe right down into my belly, no problem. Beautiful. Now when you've found that pose, I want you to just hold it. Take a couple of deep breaths here. And then from here, we're going to step out into a pose called Trikonasana, or triangle pose. I'm going to turn that right foot out. I'm going to turn my left foot out and mirror you. And turn the back foot in just slightly. And then we're going to twist our hips to the center. Now if that doesn't work for you, because remember these poses were put together by very slimmed hip men, then I want you to adjust your feet so that it feels comfortable. Okay, you should not be uncomfortable in yoga. Alright, turn your hips towards the center. Place your hands on your hips. And inhale right from your heart to the fingertips and hold it here. Good. Then you're going to fold from your hip and place your hand down on your leg wherever you're comfortable. And bring your other hand to your hip. Turn your body towards the ceiling and look up towards the ceiling. And if that's not comfortable for your neck, look straight ahead. Now if you need to bend your knee, do so. Okay. Inhale and raise your hand up. Spread your fingers nice and wide. I'll show you what that looks like. And hold it here. This also works into the liver and the gallbladder. It's a lateral or side bending pose. And then inhale, reach up. Exhale, look down at your foot. And inhale, come back to center. Take your feet out a little bit wider. Bend your knee so that that knee is directly over your ankle, not forward of the ankle, not behind the ankle, directly over it. Drop your arm to your knee and rest your body here. And again, bring your hand to your hip. Turn your head to look at the ceiling or look straight ahead. That's not comfortable for your neck. And then inhale and open out that arm. Hold it here into Parsvakonasana, side angle pose. Again, working into the liver and the gallbladder, strengthening up the body. And releasing any blockages in the energy. One more breath. Good. And then I want you to inhale and gently just take your arm up and around. Inhaling to raise the arm. Exhaling to release it. So we are spending a little bit of time here strengthening up the legs. Coming back. And then inhale, reach out through the arm. Exhale, look down at your foot. And inhale, come all the way back up to center. Beautiful. Then we're going to switch to the other side. So bring your feet in a little closer together. And again, we're going to come into Trikonasana or triangle pose. So ideally, you're wanting your heel to come to the center of your back foot. As I said, if that doesn't work for you, adjust it so it does. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, fold from the hip. Place your hand wherever you're comfortable. Bend your knee if you need to. Bring your hand to your hip, turn the head to look at the ceiling, and then reach up towards the ceiling. Spread the fingers, nice and wide. And really work with your breath. Inhale, reach up through your fingertips. Exhale, turn to look down at the foot. Inhale, come back to center. Step your feet out a little wider. Bend your knee so it's directly over your ankle. And drop your arm down. Bring your hand to your hip. Turn your chest. Look at the ceiling. Bring the arm up and over. And inhaling here. And then inhale, drop the arm down and take it up and over, opening out the shoulders, continuing to strengthen up the legs. And then hold it here. And then inhale. Exhale, look down at the foot, and inhale, come all the way back up to center. Turning to your right side once more, we're going to come into a warrior pose. So with your feet very much the same, turning that back foot in slightly. I want you to just deepen. Check your back arm is in alignment with your body. Take your gaze over the middle finger of that right hand. And hold it here. This is Virabhadrasana or Warrior 2. It's a really strong pose for the body, strengthening for the legs and the arms and the core. Holding it here for a few deep breaths just to start with. Now just adjust your posture. So if you find that you're sinking down into your hips, I want you to raise your body up and out of your hips. One more deep breath here. And then drop your arm back. Take your other arm up and over. Palm facing down. And just come into a gentle back bend. Bring your hand where you need to. You don't have to make this too challenging for yourself. Again, back bends are really good for working with adhesions. And opening up the front of the body. But if you find that that pose is too much for your lower back, then don't come into that pose. Just come into the warrior and hold that. Turning to the other side now. Inhaling, reaching out that left arm, check the back arm is in alignment and the gaze is over the middle finger. Ground down through your feet, knee is directly over the ankle. And then again, if you find you're sinking into your hips, lift your body up and out. Keep that gaze going. Lovely, and if you wish to, drop your hand back, take the other arm up and over, palm facing down, look up to the ceiling, stretch out the front of your body. Beautiful, and then come back to center. And then release it. Step your feet in. Walk through your feet. And I'm going to show you a really simple yoga technique to just release off any tension in the spine. Because we're wanting to get that tension to flow. But to strengthen the body, we have to hold the posture. So this is how we release it. If you can feel it in your lower back, I want you to gently just keep your arms nice and low. Twist through the body. And incidentally, if you are a swimmer, this is a great warm-up. If you can feel it in your middle spine, then I want you to bring your arms to shoulder height. If you've got the room, you can just straighten out your arms. Make sure you turn the head to look over the shoulder. Work with the availability that you have. If you can feel it in your neck and your shoulders, raise your arms in the air. Twist through the body. So work with whatever area is appropriate for you. And if you can feel it in all three, work through all three. Slowly make your way down. Calming right down. Lowering the arms, slow your movement right down. And then come back to center. I want you to before you close your eyes, I want you to bring the tip of your thumb and your forefinger together. Just place it over your belly in Yoni Mudra, Female Mudra. Close your eyes now, and I want you to see if you can feel the weight in your feet. So you may not have been able to feel it before, but most likely you can now. Finding that peace, that calm. Knowing that this is available to you whenever you seek it, just as it is now. When you're ready, float your eyes open. We're going to come back down to our mat in a seated position. So coming back down to your mat, and again, finding yourself a really comfortable seated position. And if that means taking your legs out in front of you, please do so. Otherwise, come into an easy cross-legged. And we're just going to work with freeing up this area. So what I want you to do is just gently start to circle from the hips. Now I'm placing my hands on my hips so I can kind of feel them moving. Taking the body forwards and back and working into the front of your pelvis and the back of your pelvis, which is really good for releasing tension within this pelvic area. And I want you to do a few rounds in one direction. You can probably really feel that working into your lower back. And then just circle in the other direction. Really releasing off the hips. Breathing into any pain in the lower back or in the pelvis. Beautiful. And then come back to center and either remain seated like this, or if you're comfortable to, you can come up into a kneeling position on your knees. So it just depends on how you're comfortable. And we're going to practice a breath called Prana Mudra, and this is really good for de-stressing the body. So what I want you to do is inhale and raise your arms up and over your head. And then exhale, draw your palms down to your forehead, peel your palms away and bring them all the way down to the base of the body. Inhale and raise. And exhale and lower. We're going to go again. Inhaling, try and extend your breath until your palms come together. Exhale. Breathing out all the way down to the base of the body. Inhale, raising the arms, and exhaling, and lowering. Good. 2 more rounds. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, and exhaling in your own time. And then bring your palms to your lap. Bringing the tips of your thumbs and your forefingers together and placing your hands over your belly, breathing down into those hands in Yoni Mudra, Bhima Mudra. For your day. Taking a sense of peace and calm and serenity through with you into the rest of your day. Bringing your hands to Anjali Mudra, prayer pose. Bringing them to the forehead, for clarity of thought and an open mind. And to the lips, for clarity of speech and kind speech. And to the heart, for an open heart. Om Shanti. Om